multifamily is going to be distressed or it's going to financially fail. Hello everyone, my name is Vaibhav Puranik and today I'm going to talk about very serious topic which I hope you don't have to experience in your lifetime, and that is you as a limited partner have invested money in a multifamily syndication and that multifamily is going to be distressed or it's going to financially fail. And what that means is the capital that you have invested in, you might not be able to recover that capital as well. Whatever $50,000, $100,000 that you have put in, forget about the returns. You might not be able to get back even that much money, right? So how does a property get to that stage, right? In my opinion, there are three important broad category of factors that can get a property to that stage, right? One is market driven factors. So let's talk about market driven factors. What does market driven mean? Market driven means that changes in the market or outside situation, right, which are harder to anticipate or are outside control of the general partners in general, right? For example, in 2021, a lot of multifamilies were acquired at the interest rate of 3%, and some of these had a 3-year fixed interest period. So in 2025, that 3-year fixed rate period got over, the interest rate became 6%. So their mortgage payment became double. If the property's cash flow has not increased to that level, then the property is going to get distressed, because then they won't be able to keep making the mortgage payments month after the double mortgage payments month after month, right? So that's why, so there is one market driven factor, right? There are various other market driven factors. Suddenly the rental supply increased and then the rent growth is negative. That means all of your underwriting that you wrote initially is completely useless, and now you're not getting the rent that you wanted, and as a result of that, cash is tight. There's not enough cash to make necessary payments, right? Then you have to sell, and the prices might be lower, and in that case you might not be able to recover your capital as well, right? So that is those are market driven. Of course, there's a black swan event like COVID can happen, right, which nobody can anticipate. And in case of COVID, like what happened is the renters stopped making payments because they lost their jobs, and then government puts moratorium on eviction, right? In that case, you can't do much, right? I mean, the only thing they can do is ask for assistance to the government, right? And maybe so that kind of stuff. So these are some of the market-driven factors that are outside control of general partner. And here, I think the only thing they can do is try to adapt as fast as possible, try to change the strategy, right? That's all they could do. The second important factor is incompetence, right? These general partners basically don't know what they're doing. They hired a bad property management. They're not enforcing the lease properly. They're not maintaining the property properly, and they let the vacancies rise, and now the amenities are not maintained well, so the tenants are not happy, they're leaving, there are cockroaches everywhere. So all of that mess that you can get into, and their communication is not good. They did wrong upgrades, the upgrades that are not suitable for that particular market, right? So there's a various factors, right, that these GPs just don't know what they're doing, right? Again, there you can't. I mean, in that case, you just chose the wrong investment. But again, there are ways to recover your money, but that's another piece of factor where the general partner simply did something incompetence or incompetent, essentially. The third category is fraud, and these general partners were literally stealing money. Like they were doing something that's illegal. They were using one company's money for other company, or they were running a Ponzi scheme on the side, and they get convicted, and now your property is bankrupt, goes to the bankruptcy proceedings, right? So all sorts of things can happen actually. So these are the three things, right? Again, market-driven factors, incompetence, and fraud could be the three major categories because of which your property can be distressed. Remember, incompetence is not illegal. Okay, so the police or the SEC is not going to help you there. It's just something you have to put up with because you made a wrong choice. Now, how to recognize signs that your property may get there, right? The first is, of course, if the communication is not specific, it's vague, then there's something going on there, right? They're trying to hide something. Um, Another, of course, important thing is like deferred maintenance. Like you look at the property photos and you see landscaping not maintained well, or it's just amenities not maintained well, the pool is not functional, those kind of things. And then the vacancies rise. Okay, it's financial data, right? The quarterly updates or whatever. Like you see vacancies rising, right? Or you can see a payment being missed, right, of the bank. I mean, that's a big no-no. Like you can't miss a mortgage payment. So those kind of things you have to keep watch on. You have to really make sure that you read emails or the quarterly updates that you're getting. Don't ignore them, right? That is a big lesson for limited investment. Keep an eye, watch on them, and so those are things which can sort of and of course the last and final important thing is if the general partners issue a capital call, that means they want more money, they want more capital, right? To make sure the property just survives, right? So those are the ways. Of course, at that point it's too late, but these are the things that you can keep an eye on um, to see if your property is doing well or not, and if it's not doing well. Now, once you establish that there is something wrong, like there are three things you can do as a limited partner, as an investor that has limited management authority. You can do three things. It's still your capital, right? So you can do, you have right to do whatever you can do to actually make sure your capital is safe. And the three things is, first thing is you need to pick up phone and talk to the general partner, okay? And you have to have a direct communication with them. You have to ask them, hey, what's happening? Vacancies are rising. What are you doing to fix it? Remember, it's possible that they might be acting and actively fixing the situation, and you just haven't seen the results of it. So in that case, their explanation should make sense, and their plan should make sense, and they should say that you should ask them specifically, okay, if you have this plan, when will this plan succeed, or what is the next milestone for it? When will I see the impact of this plan in the financials, right? And then if they give you a specific deadline, then just wait until that deadline to see and verify that what they said was correct or not, right? So it's possible that what you see could be a lagging indicator, right? And they already know about it. That's a possibility. So do not then write them off first. First talk to them. Very important. First talk to them, right? Second important thing is, now if you couldn't, let's say, get good answers, right? Then you need to try to connect to other general partners, because generally PPM has a list of all the general partners, their contact information. So if the general partner that you're in touch with does not answer you properly, you try to get to other general partners. And if those other general partners could not be contacted, or you could not get a good answer from them as well, then it's a problem. Then it's a big problem at that point, right? Now, you can do two things at this point. One is to try to find contact information for other investors who are in the same boat as you, right? Now, it's kind of hard because you go to general partner and ask for contact information for other limited partners, other investors. They're going to say no because of privacy concerns, right? So then there's a couple of small things you can do. You can see if there's any communication in wisdom. There are some people included in 2NCC. They could be other limited partners, or you can go on online internet forums, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, and check if people are talking about this property in general, right? If it is a big, large property, then there are a lot of investors, right? In that case, there might be people talking about same thing somewhere else, right? Online somewhere, social media. So try to find these people, right? And if you can't do any of these things, then another third last resort is get a legal help. Again, it's easier to get a legal help if you're organized, if you have like all the other people together, like all the investors together. But if you can't, then get a legal help, right? Go to the lawyer. Sometimes a simple notice, a legal notice from lawyer, can make the general partner give you more details, correct? So In that case, simply get a legal help, and this is an SEC attorney that you are looking for, Securities and Exchange Commission attorney, and they will try to help. They will try to help you and get more information, and if not, a lawsuit can be filed, right? So this is what you do when. So what we discussed today is how a property can get into distressed condition, right, or financially, or going towards financial failure. Then how to recognize the signs of it, and a third thing is, of course, if once you establish that that's the case, what exactly to do about it, right? Now, again, please understand, a fraud is absolutely rare, and in wherever the fraud happens, people go to jail, right? So it's absolutely rare. The other two, which is the market-driven factors, is the most common factor, and the incompetence is the second most prevalent factor. If you really vet your general partner earlier, then you can probably not have to deal with incompetence. Market-driven is something that's just going to happen, right? It's out of your control, and that applies to other kinds of investment as well, right? Your stocks go down, right? So market driven factor is something that's you can't really, or GPs also do not have control on. Okay. There is a lot of interesting information like this on our website, oldmoneycapital.com. Our Instagram handle is oldmoneycapital123. And thank you very much for listening. We will keep making more informational videos just like this. Thank you.